Okay, so starting off with exercise 1, all I'm going to do is just fill out the ratio table, which most everybody is very comfortable with. It's a 4-to-1 given. This is page 5. Yeah, 7 will do the 7 was last night's homework, but I want to backtrack 2 pages. To get total, all you're doing is adding your gallons of red plus your gallons of blue. So that's how I'm getting my 5. And it's going to create an additive structure all on its own, counting by 5s when you do that. What's the value of this ratio table? Raise your hand. Come on, I expect to see more than that. Value of ratio has got to be like routine. It's got to be like your times tables. Ella. 4-to-1. What's the multiplicative structure? And you have to be careful with this because it is not times 4. If it was times 4, then the value for our middle column would be 16, and it's not. Aiden.
It's 1/4.
Okay, it's times 1/4. But if this is difficult for you to understand, because you're used to using division when numbers get smaller, what are you dividing by? To get from the R to the B, what are you dividing by? Franco?
4.
You're dividing by 4. You just kind of get it into your head that dividing by 4 is the same thing as multiplying by what's called its reciprocal, which is 1/4. And that's still a sticking point for you because you're having trouble understanding that, but you can see that you're dividing by 4, then just use division. I'm okay with that. So.
That 1/4, that times 1/4, do you use
Yeah, that's how we do it. If you are multiplying by 4, you know that if you know there's a factor here of 4 between the 2 columns, to change it to a fraction, you just put that 4 underneath 1 and you've created 1/4. That's what a reciprocal is. It's like turning a whole number upside down. Okay? And if that's difficult for you, but you can see that to get from here to here, you're dividing by 4, then that's okay too. So once you've done that, we're now going to create an equation using variables. Write an equation. When you see the word equation, you know there has to be an equal sign. You can kind of deconstruct this part of the word problem. When you see the word equation, there's got to be an equal sign somewhere. That will let George calculate the amount of blue B equals for any given amount of red. You know that the R has to be on the other side of the equal sign. You just got to decide now, am I multiplying or dividing, and if so, by how much? So look back at your table if you got to kind of think through. To get this B, what are you doing to the R? And if that is difficult for you, pick a number. To get this 2, what do you have to do to this 8? Kind of think of it in reverse. What do you got to do?
multiply by 4?
To get this 2, what are you doing to 8? If you multiply by 4, you're getting 32. No good. To get 2, what do you got to do to the 8? Gabby, you got to divide 8 by 4 to get 2. That's the hardest part of it, is trying to figure out what direction you're going in. To get this, I've got to divide B, divide by 4. Once you create your equation, this goes for anybody else, check it and see if it works. Oh, this should be R, I'm sorry. Confusing. Let's just check and see if it works. Give me a value for R. Somebody. Charlie, give me a value for R. Pick an R. What do you want? Which one? Okay, let's choose 20. I'm going to take my 20 and I'm going to substitute it in for my R. What is 20 divided by 4? It works. My equation is good. Do it more than once though. Give me another value. Go ahead, Sal. Give me another value. Okay, 16. I'm going to substitute it in for the R. What's 16 divided by 4? It works. My equation is good. Now, for those of you that chose multiplication, dividing by 4 is the same as doing what? Kristen. It's really the same thing. Okay? 4 times 1/4 is 1. I'll go back up here. 4 times 1/4 is 1. 8 times 1/4 is 2. Okay? So if that's still a hang-up for you because you just don't get the fraction part, but you could do the division part, then use division. I'm fine with that. John? Good? Okay. All right, let's move on. Now they say write an equation for red. So we now know, here's the word equation. I need an equal sign. I'm trying to figure out red, so now red is on this side. And I know that there's got to be a letter B on the other side. You've got to decide now, multiply or divide, and if so, by how much. And then test it and see if it works. Jazzy. Okay? Let's see if it works. Andrew, help me out. Pick a value for B for me.
3.
Okay, we'll do 3. Pick a different color. I'm going to substitute that in for B. What's 3 times 4?
12.
Looks like the equation is going to work, but let's always choose at least 2. Give me another one to put in. Okay, I'll choose 2. Substitute it in. What's 2 times 4? The equation is good. Like anything, you just got to practice it. Let's go on to the next page. Okay, we're going to test the equations that we've created to see if they work for these given values. Like in any word problem, I want you to underline key VIPs. What information do you think we're going to need? What should we underline? Read through it again. Tell me what we need to underline. Olivia, get me started.
24 gallons of red can.
I'm going to do 24 in red. That's my key. I'll even put a box around it. What are they asking us to find? Gabby. Okay. So how much blue paint tells me that my B is going to be on the left side of my equation? Now from this point, you're not doing anything new. Go back to the page prior. What was the equation that we have already created for B? We've already done it. So look back, and what was the equation for B? B equals what? Look back. Kristen. Right, that's from the previous page. Now, I want everybody to repeat after me. You ready? Equation. Substitute. Answer. One more time. Equation. Substitute. Answer. What I mean by equation is the actual equation we've created. Now we're going to substitute. What am I going to substitute for the value for r? Well, sure, it's right there. 24 red. There's where that letter r is coming from. Equation, substitute, now get an answer. What's our final answer? Julia. Of what color? What were we trying to find? What color? Done. So.
When you write the equation, doesn't you have to write it backwards?
How do you mean?
Like you wrote, could you have just done 24? Like the opposite way you did?
R divided by 4 equals B?
No, like you know how you wrote.
Could you want to come up and just show me? Pick red just so we can see it.
Like how you wrote it there, could you just write it like?
Let's see if it works. What's the value for R?
24.
Is 4 divided by 24. See? And we learned that is that division and subtraction, you can't reverse it. What two operations can you reverse and still get the same answer? Ella. And what property of math is that called? I'll give you a ticket if you can remember. Oh, look at the hands. What property says that we can reverse and still get the same answer? Noah.
I'll take it. No, seriously, I don't. No. Don't let him answer. Please. Why are you really feeling?
Franco. It's the property of math that says we can add or multiply in any order so get the same answer. That is the commutative property, sir. Come on up and get. Okay? Works for multiplication, works for addition, does not work for subtraction, does not work for division. You got it. Okay, let's do number 4. Same thing. Key VIPs should be what? What am I underlining? Help. Sit up nice and straight. Julian.
24.
What color? What am I trying to find?
How much red means?
Okay, so how much red means my R is here. Look back. What was the equation you've already created for R? It's already done. You just got to look back. Somebody I haven't heard from today. Jazz.
Sorry.
That's my equation. Here comes substitute. What do I substitute in for B? Angelina. 24. Equation, substitution, now get an answer. Yeah, Charles. That's 24 times 2. Double it again. Don't try to guess. Do it. Use your multiplication facts and do it. What do you got?
96.
96. 96 gallons of what?
Gallons of bread.
Okay. Yep. Let's go on to the homework. Oh, wait, is there another question?
Yeah.
All right, total. T equals, that's what we're trying to find. In this case, it's what plus what? Well,
B plus R.
R plus B or B plus R because it's commutative. Done. I don't like T as a variable. Why do I not like T as a variable? Because it looks like a plus sign. I don't like L. Why? Looks like a 1. I don't like O.
5. 0.
Looks like a 0. Okay? Everything else is fair game. Although I've seen on Common Core, they'll use L when they do length times width for area. They'll just do it as a script L. I still don't like it. Because it does. It looks like a 1. My L's looks like a 1. Because usually you're supposed to do variables in lowercase letters. Okay, let's do the homework. Again, the goal is if you struggle with it, while I go over it, hopefully there'll be less confusion as we go over it. Who wants to come up and do the ratio table first?
We're really confused, but I actually got it all right. Yeah. I just realized that.
Aiden, come on up. Any questions on the ratio table? What's the value of the ratio table? Ange. 6 to 1. Okay, here we go. Write an equation. Keyword equation. I need an equal sign. Ready, Andrew? What are they asking me to calculate? Okay, and what variable is used to represent men? So I now have at least, I'm halfway there. M equals. Julia, you ready? In order to figure out this, men, what do I have to do to this? In order to figure this out, what do I've got to do to that 1? Think it through. What am I doing to W to get from here to here? What am I doing? By how much? Okay, let's see if it works. What's the variable for women? The letter for women.
Oh.
Okay, so you just told me I've got to multiply my women times 6, right? Let's see if it works. Give me a value for W. 3. I'm going to substitute it in. What's 3 times 6? Looks like it's going to work, but let's double check. Give me another variable, another letter for W, another value for W.
2.
Okay. What's 2 times 6? Equation is good. All right. Question, Olivia.
I want M equals 6 divided by W.
Give it to me. Let's test it. M equals.
6 divided by W.
Let's see if it works. Give me a value for W. 5, ready? Is 6 divided by 5 30? 6 divided by 5? No. Can't work. After you come up with what you think the equation is, test it by substitution. And as you'll see, the only one that's going to work here is the one that we've just done. W times 6 is going to make your M. All right, Andrew, you ready? Here we go. Write an equation that would be used to calculate the number of W equals. Now this is the hard one. You ready? I'm trying to find W. order to get to this, what am I doing to this? Let's see if it works. Ready? Give me a value for m. Okay, ready? 18, I'm going to substitute it in, times 6. Is it 3? So it can't be m times 6. What else you want to try? Let's not guess. That 6 is somewhere, the 6 part is right. And I'll even tell you that the m is right. I need to know what operation you want to try. Let's try it. It's getting a little busy here, but give me a value for m. Okay, let's do 12. I want to choose a different color. 12. I'm going to substitute it in. Ready? 12 divided by 6 is? Looks like it's going to work. Give me another value. 24 divided by 6. The equation is good. Okay? Little things that to look out for too. The 6 never changes. The only thing that's really changing, if you think about it, is the operation. One's going to be multiplication and one's going to be division. Now, for those of you that were able to make the leap into fractions, dividing by 6 is the same as multiplying by
4. Oh, I can say, sorry.
1/6. So you can also say W equals M times 1/6. But if that's too big of a leap for you and division is starting to make sense, then use the division. My advice to you is anytime you formulate an equation, test it with the values to make sure it works using substitution. If you're not getting the value you're supposed to get, then the equation is not good. You've got to go back to the drawing board and try again. Okay. All right, let's check in now with actual real values. Here's 4. If same thing, underline your key VIPs if you haven't done so already. Do it right now. What numbers do what things do I need? Franco, what's one thing?
200 limits.
Okay. What am I trying to find? Charlie. What? No, what am I trying to find? Men or women?
Men who participated.
Okay, if I'm trying to find men, that's the left side of my equation. M equals. Now look back. You've already created the equation. Look at 2 and look at 3. Which one do we need to use? I'll go to you. Going back to you, back in the hot seat again. We've already created the equation. Find which one. M equals what? Don't even look at this yet. Look back here and here. Which equation was the one for M? Okay, what was the equation? We're going to rewrite it. Okay, everybody do that because we start. It's equation, substitution, answer. So now here comes the substitute part. You ready? 200 goes where? What are we substituting in for? What letter does 200 get substituted for? Okay, let's do it. Now just get an answer. How many got 1,200? Those of you that were able to do this. 1,200 what? Got it. We just have to practice it. It's okay if you don't get it in one day. If you were shaky yesterday, raise your hand if you're a little bit more confident today. Then we're going in the right direction. And if I need to, I'll spend some time on it tomorrow. All right, you have 5 minutes left. There's no time for you to group up. I want you to try the next exercise. Trist.
Number 4.
Bring it up. I'll take a look.